What is up, YouTube, and welcome to Jerry Jr.'s Garage. In this video, I'm going to be riding a 1980 Honda XL 250S, a super clean one and a super not so clean one. My uncle there is on a Kawasaki Super Sherpa, and my buddy in the white Honda NX 125. The Honda NX 125 is almost like a miniature version of a Honda Enduro. It's really feels like a mini bike, but it is indeed an Enduro, and it's actually kind of cool because it's kind of in a class of its own. It's got the look of a bigger bike, but yet it is pretty small. When you're riding it, it's kind of just a really small, quite smaller version of what most of these 250s you're going to see. But 200 and up, 250 and up is kind of where you need to be to have a bit of fun on the Enduros with the Enduro life, in my opinion. But there's just a few reasons why I'm a huge fan of Enduros. Spontaneous part of riding an old dual sport is what I love. Just load it up, bring it with. Gas is cheap. Granted, I'm partial to Hondas, but ride whatever you like and hit the road.
Looks like they open tomorrow, huh? Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, sure. Back roads. Be kind of fun. It's a little tricky staying in the middle. Different of a way. Damn, this thing is loud. And it needs brakes. My exhaust shield is falling off. Smoking a little bit. Probably got about, I don't know, gotta be 2,000 plus miles. Hard use. This thing's been underwater, all the way underwater, and then back out again, down hills, up and down Haspin Acres, and crashed, busted my clutch handles, and brake handles, and everything else. Time for a rebuild, but you know, I had to get a video. I gotta get a video of this because it's such a piece of crap, but I got a perfect parts bike and I just love this thing so much. I've had all sorts of newer style Enduros, but you know, I'm gonna just keep riding this old beater. It's just a lot of fun. I don't think I've actually owned another dirt bike where well, maybe I probably have, where I've thrown this much ridiculousness at it. I've always had more fun on the old ones you don't really care about than the newer ones. You know, DRZ, KLX, and the DR650 and all that. Those are all cool, but you buy a bike for $2 to $5 grand, and you know, you want to not destroy it. I don't know if I can still rip a good wheelie with this or not, but I'm going to try. It's a 1980 XL 250S, street legal. Currently, obviously in rough shape, as you can see. No blinkers, no mirrors, things like that. That was pretty good. For an old beater bike. Look at the Bronco, dude. That thing is sweet. Bronco is clean. Broncos are in right now too. Speaking of Broncos, I might as well talk about the new Bronco since it's been on my mind. Got a little thing in the mail. I went to the Chicago Auto Show and signed up for the Bronco brochure thing, and got this huge envelope in the mail. I was all excited. 3 stickers, 3 little Bronco stickers. Doesn't even have the Ford logo. It just has a horse, the Bronco. Oh my God, I was all hyped up about it. To get some pictures and information. I got 3 little stickers and like a card. I'm like, man, I don't know. I always expect a lot for from Ford, especially their marketing department, because they're like freaking geniuses when it comes to the marketing department. But anyhow, the Ford Bronco, when the price sticks out and the 7-speed manual sticks out. I mean, a lot of people are going to be buying that thing. $28,000, I think, $28,500 for the base model. The little 4-banger EcoBoost. Let's see, 7-speed manual, and the doors fit in the back. Pretty awesome. I don't know. I'm not going to beat up the specs over here because it's about a dirt bike, right? After all, but I had to bring it up.
Now, I understand that most people are not going to ride at the full capability of their bike, but versatility is a huge one for me, and most enduros, while right out of the gate, are relatively mild. You can kind of do whatever you want to soup one up or whatever, you know, and it really doesn't matter what you have. It just makes road trips so much more fun, whether you're going something, you know, a short trip or a long trip. And technology in general, when it comes to dual sports, has really not changed terribly much over time. The reason why I love enduros is because they're relatively cheap. Cheap to put gas in, cheap to maintain. Relatively speaking, most entry-level enduros are cheap, even when buying new. And really, it's not a vehicle you're going to go out and buy to impress your friends or neighbors. And, you know, the dual sport community is more or less focused on the ride than a fashion statement. So you don't really also need to wear full motocross gear to ride one. All you really need is a helmet and gloves, and you're ready to hit the road. As we get later on in this video, I'm going to be describing to you what my personal thoughts are on the enduro motorcycle selection in general. There are some bikes that I really have been thinking about recently trying to obtain down the road. One of them being an XR 600R or possibly the XR 650R. I know there's an XR 650L. I've been considering looking into that as well. What I'm looking for is more or less of a bike that is a little more capable off-road, but yet has the durability on-road and reliability that I'm looking for. Now, there are some other bikes out there that I don't know a ton about, Beta being one of them. Beta's a relatively new brand. Granted, these bikes are expensive. The more power you're looking for, I feel like the more the price goes up.
Cemetery back there. Why is there a fence? Why is there fences around cemeteries? This is a dumb dad joke. I gotta get good at the dad jokes here. It's because people are dying to get in. I've been trying to master the dad jokes since got a little one coming. I got obsessed with enduros. I just want to try all of them because I feel like enduros are like such a, it's like a bike, at least the gas powered ones. I'm not talking about electric. That's a whole different category for me to talk about. But when it comes to CCs and enduros, there's such a broad range out there, and you think of an enduro like, oh, 250, it's going to be this, it's going to feel like this, or 600, it's going to be like this, or 650. It doesn't really work like that, guys. Like, it's just, at least from my experience, and I mean, I'm not any kind of, I'm just an enthusiast that likes driving cars and bikes and stuff. I don't really pay attention to the engineering behind it until after I've experienced it, if that makes sense. So, but that's why I like enduros, because you could be on a 250 that'll make your eyes just pop open like, whoa, this bike is the most fun I've ever had. Or you could be on a 650, at least in my eyes, and be like, this thing is slow, or this thing sucks, it's way too heavy. You know, it's just that it's really, there's such an individual preference behind it all, but also a big difference in power. You know, a 650 can be powerful, or a 650 can be just a slow piece of shit, really. Go back here in the shade, partially in the shade. Here's something sweet. I'm going to show you how crappy this bike is. How crappy it is and still runs. I'm sure there's millions of them out there like this, but so fun. The most fun, cheapest thing you can do is buy like a shitty dirt bike or shitty ATV. It doesn't really matter what it is. Just don't try to buy a Honda from me though, because I kind of get weird. I've been obsessing over the vintage Hondas for years now, and as I get older I kind of read about them more than I actually go out and experience them, unfortunately, but that's alright. As long as I can make some random videos and somebody gets a kick out of it, then hey, I'm cool with that. I stay so busy doing so many different things. If I could just ride enduros for a living, you know, there we go. That'd be the life. Whoa. That ain't shit. Mercury Marauder. Little Cobra guy on the side there. Pretty cool cars. That's a cool car that you drive, you know? Unless you got one with like, I don't know, under 10,000 miles, then you just stare at it, because it's probably gonna be worth a little more one day. But Marauder, a Mercury Marauder, you know, deserves to be driven and enjoyed. Pretty neat cars. I think this is 19 horsepower. I guess I could go over the specs that I remember. 19 horsepower, 1980 XL 250S. 19 horsepower, I want to say 200, what the hell is it? It's got to be right around, what is it, 270 pounds, I want to say? Could be off. If I'm off, I'll correct it on the screen.